"You're under arrest, Grandpa." He didn't flinch, didn't protest, didn't even ask why. Just stood there as the cuffs clicked around his wrists. Eyes forward, calm, detached, like he'd seen this moment before. Like he'd been waiting for it. To anyone watching, it felt surreal. An old man, a ghost of another era, brought into court like a criminal. The jury didn't know what to make of it. One juror rolled her eyes. Someone in the gallery chuckled. The prosecutor wore a smug grin. To them, Daniel Rigg was just another crusty old vet. Probably yelled at someone at a gas station. Bitter. Washed up. Angry. But what no one in that courtroom knew, not the prosecutor, not the jury, not even the judge, was that Daniel Rigg had once ended a war with a single shot. And the only man who could verify that? He wore 4 silver stars and was already on his way. The courthouse was nothing fancy. 2 floors of faded brick nestled between a dusty library and a mom-and-pop dentist office. A place where "thank you for your service" counted as therapy and folks still waved at strangers. That morning, the parking lot filled up before sunrise. Inside, local reporters prepped their gear, hoping for a quirky headline. Grumpy veteran yells at clouds. The charge? A scuffle at a gas station. The claim? That Rigg threatened a younger man, mid-30s, gym body, big mouth, with military violence. A misdemeanor.
Could have tossed it.
Should have tossed it. But the silence, that's what rattled everyone. Daniel never argued. Never explained. Just showed up every hearing on time. Same jeans. Same plain shirt. Same ghost-like presence. It made the bailiffs nervous, and they didn't even know why. The town whispered, "He's unstable. He's got PTSD." Disgruntled ex-Marine. No one asked about his record. No one asked about his medals. He lived alone, in a dented trailer on the edge of the woods. No Wi-Fi. No mailbox. Just a battered flag in the window and a pair of boots by the door that had walked through hell. He walked every morning before dawn. Head down. Steps steady. Eyes distant. Daniel Rigg, 66. Former U.S. Marine. That's all the court docket said. His overworked public defender tried to talk to him. Got nothing. No family. No defense. No plea. Just silence. Even the judge paused before reading his name. That day in court, the cuffs were already tight. He didn't resist. Didn't blink. Just stared forward. The courtroom buzzed with tension. Whispers. He's the guy who yelled at a kid. No. He threatened to shoot someone. Definitely PTSD. The judge entered. The jury stood. The show began. Testimony after shaky testimony. A gas station clerk said he looked aggressive. A woman claimed he muttered something about knowing how to kill. And the so-called victim, wearing a neck brace, told the court Daniel looked him in the eye and said, "I could end you from 800 yards without blinking." Nobody questioned it. No one objected. Not even Daniel. The prosecutor grinned. "Ladies and gentlemen, this man once served. That was a long time ago. Now he uses that past to intimidate. That's not heroism. That's dangerous." Some jurors nodded. Others just stared at the floor. Then it happened. A black SUV pulled up outside. No lights. No sirens. Just quiet precision. The man who stepped out wore a dress uniform so crisp it might have been ironed by God. 4 silver stars gleamed on his collar. General Samuel Wyatt, retired Chief of Special Operations Command. The moment he entered, everything changed. Security didn't check ID. The clerk stood at attention. Wyatt didn't explain himself. He just said, "Courtroom 3," and walked. Inside, no one knew he was there yet. The jury hadn't returned. The judge tapped her pen. The prosecutor scrolled his phone. Daniel stared ahead. Then the doors opened. Clicking cameras. Whispers. The judge stood. Not from duty, from instinct. Wyatt didn't approach the bench. Didn't look at the attorneys. He walked straight to Daniel. Daniel finally looked up. No salute. No handshake. Just recognition. The judge cleared her throat. "General, what brings you here?" Wyatt's voice was low. Measured. I'm here because this man is the reason I'm alive. The room froze. He doesn't know I came. He didn't ask me to. Probably hoped I wouldn't. But I heard about this trial, and I couldn't stay silent. He stepped closer. 31 years ago, I was pinned behind a collapsing wall outside Fallujah. Cut off.
2 men down.
Surrounded. Then a single sniper opened a path. 12 targets, 5 minutes. Every shot surgical. The last one, a moving target, 936 yards.
Crosswind.
That shot saved my life. He paused. That sniper was Gunnery Sergeant Daniel Rigg. Gasps filled the room. Reporters scrambled. The prosecutor went pale. Wyatt raised a hand. Silence again. I've read the charges. I've seen the case. And I'm telling you, whatever he said in that parking lot, he's earned the right to be heard. He turned to the judge. With your permission, I'd like to speak to the jury. She nodded. Daniel didn't defend himself. Not because he's guilty, but because he's tired. Tired of being misread. Tired of silence being mistaken for threat. He never asked for praise. But when the world falls apart, you pray someone like him is nearby. Then, almost like a whisper, you don't put men like this in chains. You put them in history books. And then, Wyatt dropped to one knee. Not in weakness. Not in drama. But in apology.
The courtroom gasped.
Even the judge's hands shook. The jury returned, stunned. They saw a 4-star general kneeling before the man they were about to convict. Daniel stood, held out his hand. Wyatt took it. They stood there, not as soldier and commander, but as survivors of the same war. The judge spoke. In light of this testimony and the extraordinary circumstances, I'm dismissing all charges. Effective immediately. Gavel down. Chains off. Silence. Then a few cheers. But mostly reverence. Daniel nodded to the jury. Then walked out. Veterans stood at attention. Saluted.
He didn't speak.
He didn't need to. And for the first time in decades, he looked free. Not just from that courtroom, but from being forgotten. Because sometimes a hero doesn't wear a uniform anymore. Sometimes he walks quietly through life, hoping someone remembers what he gave, without ever asking for anything in return. Daniel Rigg didn't ask to be defended, but this time someone did. And maybe, asterisk, that's what justice really looks like, asterisk. Now it's your turn. Have you ever known someone who gave everything and asked for nothing? Drop their name in the comments. Let's make sure silence doesn't bury honor. Let's make sure someone remembers.